Best scene, Indigenous. Interior, CCMC ER trauma, same. Dr. Anderson and Nurse 1 wheel civilian man through the door marked for the OR. Meanwhile, Nurse Santos wraps wounded officer's injured leg.
I'll get you something for the pain.
No, I need a steel alert.
Nurse 2 walks past Santos, helping an elderly man to a chair. She approaches Sam Rush and unwraps his hand, which is sliced from the middle of his palm to the back of his thumb.
That's gonna need stitches. Cover it with this gauze and apply pressure.
Nurse 2's hand shakes.
Can you do a stitch job?
Yeah.
Nurse 2 returns to the elderly man, who has been joined by a younger man. Santos grabs a kit out of a drawer and approaches Sam Rush. She motions for him to follow.
How'd it happen?
Kitchen accident.
Rush, still in uniform, sits on a chair behind the nurse's station. Santos rolls up the chef coat sleeve, cleans the cut, and then numbs it with a couple of injections. Some old scars are visible on Rush's arm.
More accidents?
He watches unflinching as Santos stitches him up.
Yeah.
Didn't realize cooking was a hazardous line of work.
You'd be surprised.
Once done stitching, Santos palms her phone and sends Dr. Cross another text. Babe, where are you? Stacey Ward approaches and leans against the nurse's desk, shoulder to shoulder with Santos. They stare at Jennifer, who is taking a breathing treatment with her eyes on her cell.
Heard anything yet?
Santos shakes her head, finds Dr. Cross in her contacts, hits dial, and then holds the phone to her ear. She looks around at all the scared faces in the room, including Stacey Ward's.
She's okay?
Ward wraps an arm around Santos and hugs her.
Yeah, I'm sure of it.
But what if...
Are you kidding? She'll kick anything's ass that gets in her way.
Boom! An explosion shakes the building. People scream and cry. Able-bodied officers and soldiers stand on edge, alert and readying their weapons. The OR doors burst open. Nurse 1 runs into the room, followed by Dr. Anderson. They're both sucked up into clear spheres. The spinning electrical currents of the bubble speed up. Bam! Both Anderson and Nurse 1 combust in a blast of blood. Patients and workers scream. Those who can stand run for the door and exit. Balthazar, an aquatic ape, enters with a crew of 6 others.
Exterminate!
Balthazar raises his arm. A blast of electricity shoots from the glowing band around his wrist. A stream of light flashes next to Sam Rush, who ducks. It hits the elderly man, who combusts. People scream and run for cover. Balthazar and his men continue to fire beams of light, trapping people. A wounded officer stands and shoots. The bullet hits Aquatic Ape 3 in the leg, but doesn't seem to faze the simian. The officer is sucked into a sphere, then disappears. Ward and Santos take cover behind the nurse's desk. Santos grabs a crash cart. She cranks the voltage as high as the dial goes. Jennifer scoots under a desk.
What are you doing? Did you see that? The officer shot him and nothing. God, where is it?
An Aquatic Ape number 4 approaches Mary and Chloe.
Hey, over here.
Walter comes out of hiding and waves his hands overhead. Aquatic Ape 4 focuses on Walter. He raises his arm and aims. Rush slams an IV stand against the ape's head, but the blow has little impact. Walter rushes forward, but the ape leaps into the air, grabbing a metal bar overhead. Rush stares at the ape's webbed feet, then hands.
What the hell are you? Simian.
That's an ape? An aquatic ape?
Aquatic Ape 4 nods. He swings his body back and forth, releases his hold, and then knocks Walter down. Rush rolls out of the way, but by the time he rises, Aquatic Ape 4 is swinging from the ceiling again. Rush reaches for him.
Come here, you fucking sea monkey.
Aquatic Ape 4 swings out of Rush's reach, releases the sprinkler he was holding, flips, and then lands on his feet. Another ape joins him. Aquatic Ape 4 aims a beam of light at Chloe. Mary shoves her daughter out of the way, but Mary is sucked into the bubble. Flecks of red color swirl around her. Rush is tackled by Aquatic Ape 5.
Parent now, offspring next.
Behind a desk, Santos watches the numbers on the cart.
Come on, come on.
The light on the defibrillator flashes from red to green. Santos stands and steps out from behind the desk.
Walk away from this, asshat.
Santos jabs the paddles against Aquatic Ape 4's chest. The impact of the shock sends her flying backward. The beast falls to the ground, and Mary is released from the bubble.
Mama? Mama?
Chloe runs to Mary, slipping out of Walter's reach. Aquatic Ape 6 aims and shoots a pulse that surrounds Chloe.
No!
Rush, the cook, using military combat moves, snaps the neck of Aquatic Ape 6 and drops the body at his feet. Mary rises and staggers to her daughter, but before she reaches her, the little girl vanishes, bubble and all.
Chloe? Chloe? Chloe?
Several army men enter the room and open fire on the apes. Rush grabs Mary and drags her out of the crossfire.
Get down!
Walter, Rush, who is still dragging Mary, Ward, Santos, and Jennifer exit the room, fleeing for their lives.
She's alive. I'll find her.